Hello everyone, this is Kunal Bharatendu, President SPEATBC, Society of Punjabi Engineers and Technologists of British Columbia. During this unprecedented time, SPEATBC is reaching out to the membership and community at large. Today, one of our experienced members is going to share his expertise and experiences. The topic is how to start a career for a new immigrant in Canada and work-life balance. So we put together a short webinar, and this will be available on SPEATBC YouTube channel, Facebook and LinkedIn pages. If you have any question, please email us at speedbc@gmail.com or check out our website speedbc.org. So without taking much time, let me introduce our speaker, Mr. Harwinder Singh Arora. He's a professional engineer with more than 25 years of experience in the engineering field. He's active member of SPEATBC and also served as a president in the past. He's an electrical engineer with expertise in automation and manufacturing industry. Currently, he works for Rogers Sugar in the Vancouver area.
Hello everyone, my name is Harwinder Singh Arora and welcome to Speed Talk 2020. I'm going to talk today about finding a career path in engineering technology and work-life balance in Canada. I'm going to share my thoughts, my beliefs, and some of experiences I have gone through being an immigrant to the country. And I'm going to talk about is a brief introduction about myself, who I am, my background, about SPEATBC, Society of Punjabi Engineering and Technologists of British Columbia. I'm going to talk a little bit about Speed Talk 2020, and the main topic of today, engineering and technology in Canada. Then how to find a job in engineering and technology. We're going to touch about that. Then what skills you need and what skills are needed for these jobs and finding a career path in Canada. And then being an immigrant, I always want to what I have been through when I moved to this country. We're going to touch about immigrant angle of engineering and technology here in Canada. And then the last, not the least one, work-life balance. How do you find that? And it's pretty challenging in today's world. And I'm going to touch base a little bit of what I have been practicing to maintain that. Let's talk about my background first. Briefly, I will touch base. So my name is Harwinder Arora, and my education, I did my bachelor's degree in engineering and controls and instrumentation from Punjab in India, 1993. Then I did some Cisco CCNA courses and CAD and some other courses from BCIT. And then lately, because of my role, I've been doing project management. I did some MCPM, Master Certificate in Project Management. It's a combination program from UVic and Schultz School of Business, York University, Ontario. And then done some other various technical courses and non-technical courses during my work experience. So my experience in the industry, I've been more than 25 years in the industry now, in pulp and paper, automation, energy, and manufacturing sectors. I started with the pulp and paper in India, then worked for some time for Nestle in India, then moved here, worked for Rockwell Automation, then moved to Clear Result, Willis Energy consulting company, and now working with Atlantic and a sugar manufacturing unit in Vancouver. and done some, as for my experience, done both maintenance and projects, project management currently, senior project engineer for E&I, Western Canada for Atlantic. So I moved to Canada in 2004, and I'm a good member of standing with EGBC, and that's the regulatory body in BC for engineering, and in Ontario, AEE, Association of Energy Engineers in the US, ITA, Industrial Training Authority, and the PMI, the Project Management Institute. Now we're going to talk about a little bit about SPEATBC here. SPEATBC is Society of Punjabi Engineers and Technologists of British Columbia. Is a non-profit volunteer organization serving community at large in BC. They have various very good free programs, and I feel like I'm a part of this extended family, and I'm honored to be a part of this family. My association with this organization started in 2004 when I moved to this country. I was looking for a platform where I can mingle around with the people and discuss about my background and find a good job. And there I got some good friends and good family members. Like I said, it's like an extended family to me, and a very good mentor from the society who was a computer expert and automation manager, and he guided me through well. Chad Singh, his name is. Um, I have served as a volunteer various positions with the organization as a director at large. Started with them in my early years, then I got more involved into social activities. Been a volunteer member, done some membership roles, mentorship, done some mentorship for the new immigrant engineers and the local engineering graduates. Been treasurer, and I've served as the president of the organization as well. If you want to learn more about this very beautiful, wonderful organization, SPEATBC, please look at the video, watch the video at the link shown on my slides here, and there is a link for the website as well. You can take a look and learn about the program, scholarships, how you can get involved, and how you can benefit from the organization, and how you can help others. Speed Talk 2020. This is a great initiative started by the current executive members, board members, and the council. And I have been asked to, present and talk about this Speed Talk 2020. I'm the first, and they are trying to guinea peg me and trying on me, see how I does. Anyways, I'm gonna talk. This is a great initiative by SPEATBC current executive members. As I like it because a platform to share the knowledge and experience and learn from each other. That's a good thing. That's the only way if we talk, we share experience, then you can learn more and more, right? And this technology, it's the younger generation prefer now, and they can get more engaged and learn from here. And this is the best in today's scenario, current COVID-19 scenario. It's perfect to start while we are having this technology available to us, and everything is going on virtual. We don't know when it's gonna be away, and I think it's a good, very good initiative. Now my main let's come to the main topic here of today's talk: engineering and technology in Canada. So I'm going to touch base a few things here on engineering and technology. How does that work here in Canada and BC and other parts of the country? And basically it's the same. So let's talk about engineering first. Engineering, basically what you get, you see in title, engineer and a professional engineer, PEng or a PGO for a geologist. So typically what the education engineering degree in 4 years, any discipline, civil, mechanical, electrical, structural, right, and mining, whatever process, right? So whatever area, they have typically a university degree or 4 years, and the title in the industry uses, and in Canada is professional engineer. And then the technology, the title for this one they use here in BC and Canada is Technologist or a CTech or Certified Technician, right? So the designation is CAST, Applied Science Technologist. Typically, the education is 2 to 3 years of diploma and technology program, electrical, mechanical, like any other discipline, civil, right? And then the third leg is trades and trades. The title you will see in the industry being used is IP. That's Interprovincial Red Seal. Journeyman, they call it journeyman ticket, right? So if you look for a job here for an electrician, that's mandatory. They ask for because regulatory bodies involved in that, right? So typically they look for 4 years of education in trade, whatever trade you want, welding, millwright, or an electrician or an instrument mechanic. So they look for 4 years in trade, right? So more talk about engineering here. So I said the engineering degree, university, 4 years, right? Designations, titles used in the industry are PEng, EIT, LEng, PGO, professional engineering training, limited license. Like usually if you are a technologist and you don't have a full degree, but you got some experience, you can still get an LEng license from the regulatory bodies, and you can do some work in the engineering field, right? But main title is a professional engineer in engineering. So the regulatory body in BC, every province has a regulatory body. You can look in every province's websites. They have their websites and more information available on that. But in BC is EGBC. That's the engineer Joe Santos of British Columbia. That's the website here. They have some experience requirements, right? Whatever they keep on changing the rules. Sometimes when I moved in, there was a requirement of 10 years of experience, international trained engineers, but now I think they have cut it down. And it's less, maybe 6 years or 4 years, I don't know, but you can take a look at the website and stay up to date. The engineering profession is highly regulated in Canada and in BC as well. So because of big responsibility, so use the title engineer. You cannot use the title engineer unless you are certified or registered with one of these professional bodies, regulatory bodies in the province, right? So they have got their procedure, steps you need to follow. You need to file your application. You need to have your transcript sent by the university, either your local university degree holder or you are an international trained professional. They need to send your transcripts to the regulatory body directly. Then you have to document your experience, how many years of experience you have done, to submit your references, and then you have to prove that you have the language skills as well to practice engineering in a profession. And there is a mobility agreements within Canada, like if you got certified or registered with one of the provinces, then you can move to other, and then they'll change. It's a fairly simple process, and some of the countries there, they have also agreements uh, in place, like Hong Kong, I think UK, and some other countries. You can look at the website. They have a list of countries who, if you are registered as an engineer over there, you can move as it is. But India, from where I am, it's not on that list, right? So you have to go through the more complicated process. Engineering practice, typically once you are done and you're working in your field, typically in the office, you're depending on your company and the roles you play. But typically, consulting, if it's a consulting company, your role is design engineer. There could be a commissioning engineer, you could be a manufacturing engineer. It all depends on the industry you're working on and what are you practicing, right? Technology diploma holders, 2 to 3 years for the education. The designation they have: by some technologist, CTech, PTech, RT manager, registered technology manager. It's a regulatory body, is a ASTTBC, Applied Science Technologists and Technicians of British Columbia. And there is a website you can see in the slideshow, and go there and explore more. They got similar experience requirements, regulatory body, You have to go through the similar steps: application, transcripts, experience references, and some exams maybe. Technology practice, you in a field and office depending on your role, right? And so basically you are working in the field, maybe troubleshooting a PLC, or going to take some dimensions, do some field work, or a commissioning technologist, or helping your team. It all depends on the company and the role. Like here in engineering and technology is trade, and typically, so 4 to 5 years of education recognized with a recognized institution, and on-job learning. Like they have apprenticeship programs, year 1 to year 4. You learn, a few months during the year, and then on the job, and then you sit in an exam, and then you go to level 2, level 3, right, level 4, like that, and then you finally write an exam for getting your journeyman ticket. So designation you get is IP, Red Seal Journeyman, right? So interprovincial, you can move any part of the country if you have a Red Seal ticket. It's equally recognized in all provinces. So designated titles, typically you will see industrial electrician, construction electrician, welder, millwright, or instrument mechanic. They're all part of engineering and technology, because they have to do all the field work. So a regulatory body for them is in BC is ITA. Every province have their own, so you have to look in if you are in different province. But in BC is Industrial Training Authority is a website, and they have probably more than 70 programs in place for different Red Seal tickets. You can look at carpentry and many others, millwright, right? But there is a website, so you can take a look and search the programs, what is in interest to you. They got the similar application, transcripts, experience references, language. You need to certify with them, right? So, and then they provide this certificate of qualification that's called CFQ. And once you got that and you pass the exam, you are a tradesman, basically. Basically, it's your life and your decision. What you want to do, right? And you are in control. The role you take and the role you play, that's entirely up to you. What do you like, and basically what do you have a passion for? Figure out there, right? Like, what do you like working in the trenches, cranes, shops, docks, offices, cubicles, wiring panels, if you are good with the hands-on, maybe you're doing the piping work, writing PLC code. If you like programming, you're good in maths. You can order parts, learn softwares, design, build circuits, or design, build piping, or select pumps, fans, whatever, right? Arrange inspections. Maybe you're good at coordination. Maybe you are good in field audits, right? Maybe finding troubleshooting you're good with. Maybe you can do the technical reviews. You can pick up the reports, read the reports, analyze them, right? Maybe you're good with the project management. So all that is your decision, and depends on you, what you have a passion, and what you're looking for. It's about your attitude as well, and like whether you are staying positive, and you're working towards what you need to do, and the direction you want your career to go. There are limits, of course, right? Limits by either by qualification, or by experience, or by communication skills, or by leadership skills. So you have to identify those within yourself, right? And this is very, very important. And like being an immigrant, when I moved in here, I was thinking, they have a tough process, right? They take a long time. It took 3 years for me to get my professional engineer, but it's unlawful to practice engineering in Canada unless you are a registered professional engineer, or working under somebody's supervision, right? Or a professional engineer supervision. And it makes more sense now for me when you are working in the field, and you go through all this, right? And I think it makes more sense now for me that, okay, that's why, because safety of the public, These rules are there to protect the public from bad designs or incompetent practitioners, right? And you don't want jeopardize the safety of the public. So that's why these rules and regulatory bodies are there, and the government is making sure that the public safety is paramount, right? That's part of the ethics exam as well. Like you learn as you know when you go through the whole PEng process. Finding a job. Um, that's the first question I think anybody comes out of the graduation degree, like local or if an immigrant, like what do I want to do now, right? I've done my program and I'm looking for a good job, my dream job, right? So and then he starts looking into the job market. So in my experience, I think the job market, what do you need to know first? What do you need to know is what you are looking for, right? What is your area of interest? What are you passionate for? You are good in sales, you are good at design, you are good in working with the people, you want sitting back in the cubicle, right? And all that things, right? And the job market is there's in Canada, especially in BC and other parts as well. There's a visible job market. Examples are, you can take a look, websites, newspaper cuttings. Their employers are making advertisement, career website, job fairs you can go to, career fairs you can go to. On campus there are some recruitment, some companies are coming in nowadays. Technology, like one of the LinkedIn, like people post in there, right? You can take a look and like that's a visible job, and they post the job, what they are looking for, what the requirements are, and what qualifications they need. You can take a look. It's transparent, right? But there is a bigger portion here and hidden as well. How do you find that? So it's not posted, right? That comes from the referrals, like the people, the networks you have made, right? And recruiters, that's also some employers are using recruiters. So they have some openings, volunteer groups, the organization you work and volunteer for, there might be people they know, some of their friends and colleagues, and they might be looking for it, and they know your skill set and your job work experience. So as a volunteer they can recommend for you, and I have seen that people have recommended and people have got the jobs. Approach, how do you approach and landing a job, or first, you need to have a resume and a cover letter. Like if you see an advertisement, you have to tailor your resume. You have to write a cover letter and send it to the people who are hiring. It could be a human resources department, or it could be a recruiter, or whosoever you are sending to. So you need a good resume and a good cover letter. And then you need to know about the skills, like what skills you have, and technical, non-technical skill. Look for the job posting, right? What are they looking for? What soft skills and the communication, right? Written emails, how are you communicating? Any documents, that the skills you need, right? Documents you need to write, maybe need to review the reports you may have written, may need to write business reports, technical reports, verbal communication, right? How you talk with the people. What's your body language? Your other analytical skills, right? All these things. So some of the examples here, I'm throwing this out on my one of my slides here. For technical, right? What technical skills are people looking for in engineering and technology field here in Canada is like drafting. Do you have a drafting, and can you draw in CAD? Can you do, these are some of the tools I put on there that are commonly used. It may vary from job to job, but these are most commonly used tools like CAD, right? Computer design, AutoCAD, Visio, 3D, SolidWorks, now, some people use it, if you have laser scanning, right? Like they come with the laser, they have the tools, they do their scanning of the plant, and then you can have a whole set of drawings, actual as well, right? So special tools, some softwares, maybe like Pipeflow. Pipeflow is a software used for sizing the pumps, right? analytical skills, analytical tools, CFD tool, that's for use for air, sizing the fans and stuff like that. MATLAB, right? You're making some models, predictive models, right? If you're forecasting stuff like that. So then other skills, MS Office, which is very, very important these days. All the work is on our computers, right? Excel, analytical. You can run some spreadsheets for your employer. Word documents, like all the reports. Your project management, MS Office. Within that MS project, timelines, resources, OneNote, how to file the documents, right? All these tools. Programming, like especially because I deal more with the E&I, so I put some few things for it, like okay, what programming technical skills you have, like you know what DCS, distributed control system, you know about, right? What you have programmed, so you need to highlight what versions you used, what hardware you used, PLCs, programmable logic controllers, Rockwell, Schneider, Omron, whatever you guys have used, right? You should highlight that if you are looking for a programming job, right? Human machine interfaces, right? Touch screens, keypad screens, right? Computer graphics, right? The VFDs, like variable frequency drives, controlling the speed of the pumps or the fans, right? Those, what have you done? Whether you have sized, whether you have programmed, whether you have been on site. Networks, different networks, fiber optics, copper, right? Different control, Ethernet, IP, Modbus, TCP, right? And if you have done coding, any programming you have done, right? So all those things are your technical skills. And then there are some regulatory which people, I think, learn over the time, or you have to get some courses to understand these, because being an immigrant like I did not knew nothing about the regulatory standards in Canada or in BC, so I have to learn over that time, take some courses, right? But there are good resources out there. You can do some self-learning. Canadian Electrical Code course, right? Safety, technical safety BC, work BC stand, health and safety, occupational health and safety standards, other standards like TSA, ASME, national NFPA, National Protection Fire Protection Agency. They have some good standards out there. Books are out there. All these are technical courses, right? Technical skills you need to have for a job, for an engineering and trade and technology field. So tips. Some of the tips which I can suggest, right? It's all totally depends on the nature of the job as well, but these are some generic ones I'm just going to suggest here. Look for the advertisement that interests you carefully, right? Read through that. What are they looking for? See that, and then think, how do you fit in that one, role and job? Like, what do you, and then make a list, what requirements you meet and what you don't, right? And the technical or non-technical, they list both. Usually in that advertisement will have a long list of requirements, and then start checking boxes, right? What do you have, what you don't have, right? And then plan what you don't have, how you fill the gap, right? So if you don't have, as for example, you don't know the safety standards, how you gonna fill in the gap? Maybe brush up, right, on self-learning, or take a course, right? Or talk to a friend, or some expert there and learn some tips from there, right? And then plan, like taking an additional course, self-learning, or an online class, go to university or BCIT, and then get a good advisor or a mentorship or a career coach. There are immigrant service societies. They getting the funds from the government, right, to fill the gap, or to bridge the gap, right? So if you are shortage on some of the skills, right, and then you need to fill, and they provide funding, so you should look for those. Networking, very, very important, right? So you need to build up your professional network and BC here, or wherever you're living, right? And it could be professional, and non-professional as well. I mean, non-professional, there might be people who knew, some professional people. So help each other, right? So volunteer work, do some volunteer work, like for any area that interests you, maybe food bank or Red Cross or Engineering Society like SPEATBC, right, or Heart and Stroke Foundation or BC Children's Hospital, right? So there are people who are retired people, maybe they are doing volunteer. You may get anybody, you never know who's gonna help you, right? uh, and common interests, right? Ice hockey, basketball, other games, right? You may find people, at the games, right? Who knows? So and that's but and others, phone calls, make some phone. Maybe you can make some phone calls, cold calls, right? Going to workshop or seminars, right? How are you dressing if you are going for an interview or if you are meeting somebody, even you have a professional meeting or a mentorship meeting, right? How are you dressing yourself? How are you behaving? How are you talking? How's your eye contact? How your body language, right? And if you have an interview, then how do you send thank you email, and how do you follow up? Are you following up on your job you have applied, right? And then you're asking on decision time, maybe a good question to ask in an interview, like when those guys will be deciding, right? So that you can look for, if you don't get, you can look for another one, right? And maybe you can ask for a referral from the person. Maybe he's in a situation where he has really two good candidates, but he could make a decision only one, right? And then but he still likes you, maybe he could refer you somewhere, right? But you have to ask, right? And if you ask, maybe the person may be able to help you, right? Ask for a business card. So these I think that helps in finding and landing a good job. Now, very very, because I've been an immigrant to the country and moved here 2004, my family, and just a little bit of immigrant angle to engineering and technology field for the immigrants, professionally trained engineers coming across from other countries like India and others, right? So. Um, it is difficult. I have been through that road, right? Very, very difficult. I would say I had a very good job, like others might be, moving here. They might have a good job, very good career. My career was booming, and then I decided to move here, right? So it was my decision. I cannot blame anybody, but initially it takes some time, right? So it is really, really difficult. A big change, a cultural change. You have moved a country, right? And I think this is the biggest decision. The rest, everything is very, very simple. Finding a job or whatever, right? But moving to from one country to another country, leaving your family behind, right? You leaving your friends behind, and whatever you have made for, like, depends on the age, what age you move. It is very, very difficult. You are emotionally attached to the things, right, with the family, friends, and your homes and work, right, country. It's a big change. I understand that, right? It's very, very hard. So you have to make some adjustments to you when you move here. Like for example, to getting a driving license, right? I failed, right, first time. So, but and you have to get your driving license, because that's where you can't go anywhere without that, finding a job or maybe going to work, right? You have to do odd jobs for survival. Uh, you're limited by finances and resources, right? And everything costs money. If you are planning to take a course, and you need money, right? You need to feed your family, to your kids, right? So everybody else needs money. So and then you have to adjust, which is a big. Finding balance is very, very hard for a few years here when you move to the new country. Any country, I think, not just this country. If Canadians move to other countries, they will have hardships as well, right? And it's a big move. It's a big decision for the one's life, right? Work-life balance. So it is very, very tough to maintain for the initial years. For finding a work-life balance. It's easy to say, but very hard to practice. But some of the things, I have been gone through in my life, so which maybe something. I'm not here. I'm not a speaker or a motivational speaker or whatever, right? But it's as a friendly. I think these are the things which I practice and I learned over the time, right? So you cannot build in a day or a year, right? So like like you move to a country and we have lots of high expectations. So I need a very, very good pay job right away. No, that's not going to happen, right? Maybe if you are lucky, right? But it takes time, right? So it takes time. You need to keep your patience, right? Take baby steps, right? Uh, um, do not compare to others. Like, there are people in the community or a friend circle, maybe, they have been there for more years, right? They have done lots of hard work. You cannot achieve whatever they have achieved in a day, right, or in a year. So it takes the time to build those, right? You need to know a lot of things before you can get there, right? And stay positive. Just stay positive. Live with positive attitude, right? And everybody can do that, right? Surround yourself with very positive people, right? Because initial time is depressive. I remember my days as well when I moved there, right? Oh, people would say, oh, you had a good job. Oh, why did you move, right? Oh, you made a stupid move. No, right? It's a very, very good country. The decision was good, but it's gonna take. You have to go through the hardship, right? Whatever time it takes, and you will get there, right? Um, um, learning habits, continuous developments, right? That is a very, very good thing. Like if you are keeping, whatever falls on you, just pick it, right? Learn, right? Learn, right? So that's very, very important. As you are learning throughout your life, this technology is changing, you have to practice new software, you have to learn some new, right? So just learn. Respect yourself first, right? And believe in yourself, right? That you can do it, and others, respect others to your family, friends, co-workers, colleagues, right? Whosoever you come in contact with, right? Just respect everybody, right? And give back, right? Again, start sharing, right? Be kind and help others, right? Just be helpful, right? And then you will feel good, you get motivated, and you get positivity through that. Believe in yourself, right? Like I said, and develop some other interests if you don't have. I'm sure everybody might have, different interests: music, volunteer, right? I've been doing volunteer work with the organization for more than 14, 15 years now, right? So which helps me, right, keeping a good friend circle and good networking, and get positivity and feel good. If you have the travel is banned, right, for at least for some time, but if you have a passion, just go explore, right, and go explore the area. Like if you're moved to Vancouver, Surrey, Delta, right, just go around, uh, find out, talk to people where some other other good habits, exercise and meditation, right, practice, pray, right. You have to keep your mind and health in control, right. Enjoy the time with family and friends, and do not just focus on your career, right. It is gonna come, right, because like I said, it's not gonna be in a day or a year, right. It's gonna take time. You have to make a nice house, you have to lay the foundation stone, right, and you have to build on that, right. And look at others around you, right? Like there might be other unfortunate people, right? You might be better off, right? And say be thankful to God. And believe me, leave rest to the God if you believe, right? And I can guarantee you things will fall in place, right? And it has been falling for me and the people around me, right? And you will be all good. Just keep your smiles and be happy, right? And I just want to thank you for watching and listening to me. Hopefully, I could get my point across through this presentation and slides and discussions. Maybe whatever I have gone through, whatever I have learned, maybe somebody can get help out of that, right? And I just want to thank you all, and good luck for everybody. Wish you all the best. And thank you to all the SPEATBC current executive board and the president council board for giving me this opportunity to share my experience. Like I said, I'm not a speaker, professional speaker, but I just try to share my experience and life experience and thoughts, what I have been gone through with you guys, right? And thank you again to the president, current president Kunal, and past president Mukesh, and this is I was the guinea pig, chosen guinea pig by the board, and there is a huge group of hardworking and talented people in the organization, and I know you will get lots of good tips and lots of good help from those as well. And I'm stay tuned and looking forward to watch the presentations and talks from other colleagues and friends in the Society of Punjabi Engineers. Thank you very much, and have a wonderful day. And stay safe in this COVID situation. Stay home, and take care of yourself and your family and friends. Bye.